What's up, y'all? It's Drummer828 back with another video, and I want to talk about what's recently just been going on starting yesterday. One of my favorite channels on YouTube has been under attack, and there's been a recent move by someone out there to deplatform this person. Now, the YouTube channel I'm discussing goes by the name of Mister Metokur. This guy is hilarious, but a lot of the times he's got a solid point to make, and he just has this way of just really digging into his targets in an incredibly effective way and being funny while doing it. And if you ask me, he's the kind of channel that YouTube needs more of. This guy's not afraid to speak his mind, and he's incredibly effective with the way that he's able to make his points and summarize it in a very entertaining way. But in the process, he's made quite a few enemies. Now, what I'm going to be talking about today, this all got started yesterday, and within a 12-hour span, around 12 hours, he was kicked off Twitter, his YouTube channel was banned, and then he was booted from Facebook. Now, I know a lot of people are probably right off the bat thinking, oh no, it's the same thing that happened to Alex Jones. No, I don't think that's quite the case. I don't think these companies colluded in any way or talked to each other and had a plan to remove Mister Metokur. He's big, but he's not that big. Instead, what I think it is that it's somebody behind the scenes, one of his many enemies that has planned a coordinated attack on all of his social media platforms. And we're going to be going over who the suspects are right now. So first up, we got Boulder Boy himself, Mundane Matt. Now, you may remember Mundane Matt from a video that I made that actually got a ridiculous amount of views, and I'm thankful that a lot of you found out about my channel through that video. Mundane Matt's the YouTuber that was caught on the kill stream live as being a false flagger and going around, and anyone who talked bad about him, he would just flag their videos and try to remove them from YouTube. Mr. Metokur was the guy who actually made Matt repeat back to him, "I'm sorry, I'm a soy-filled bitch," and flagged your videos. So as soon as all this stuff started happening to Metokur, Mundane Matt was a suspect number one for a whole lot of people. Personally, I'm not too sold on that idea. I don't think Mundane Matt has the balls to start doing his flagging campaign right after all this controversy. I think if anything, Mundane Matt wants to go hide under a boulder somewhere and just be forgotten about with all of this controversy. I don't think he's that stupid. I do think he's stupid, but I don't think he's that stupid. But I personally don't think Matt made that move. Suspect number two, the furry community. No, I don't think it's the furry community at all. They do hate Mr. Metokur because he has made videos just pointing out the lunacy of that whole community and the weird things that they get into. He's made a huge mockery of them. They do hate Mr. Metokur, but I haven't seen any clues or any kind of evidence that may lead anyone to think that it's the furry community, other than the fact that, man, they really hate this guy. But I don't think they've gone even to the lengths of having him deplatformed from multiple social medias. Suspect number three, Kraut and T. Kraut and T, that's an interesting one to bring up. This guy was a fairly well-known YouTuber who rose to the top talking about politics. However, about 8 months ago, he was exposed as running a Discord server that focused on finding out people's personal information and what they call doxing. He did this with the assistance of a YouTuber who's still hanging around, Jeff Holiday. And I mean, the whole doxing thing, it's a really disgusting move that desperate people make that want to try to control people or blackmail people. And speaking of blackmail, another op that they were trying to pull in this server was they were making fake nudes of people and trying to use it as blackmail. I don't know if they actually went through with that, but I know that was one of their planned agendas. And that's why to this day I still don't like Jeff Holiday, and I can't believe there's a lot of people out there that don't really know the full story on that. But I can just tell you that's not somebody you want to surround yourself with. But as far as Kraut and T goes, Kraut and T, ran the Discord server. He has what he calls his goons, and they go out and try to collect all kind of information on people. And Mr. Metokur actually did a 4-part series just exposing the workings of this Kraut and T character and exposed everything that he had been doing and just basically chased him off the internet. And the guy has been gone for the past 8 months. He pops up and says a little something every now and then, but as far as his channel, his word, his credibility, that's all done. It's over for him there. And he knows that if he wants to come back, it's going to be a real uphill battle now that all of his sins have been exposed. Well, what's really interesting with the Kraut and T case is that Kraut and T recently, and I'm talking about the same day that all this stuff was going down with Mister Metokur being deplatformed from all these social media platforms, it just so happened that was the exact same day that Kraut decided to make his return to YouTube. So I personally find that extremely interesting. My alarm bells are going off with the timing of all of that. I mean, think about it. This dude tries to make a return to YouTube, and the same day Mister Metokur is getting kicked off of YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And like I said, Mister Metokur is the guy who most likely informed the most people about the devious deeds of Kraut and T. So in my opinion, Kraut and T is definitely a suspect, and a logical suspect when it comes to this whole deplatforming of Mister Metokur. Suspect number 4, Joan Donovan. Now this is our last suspect so far, but I found this lady to be pretty interesting. Now she appears to be someone who was completely out of the loop with all of this YouTube drama and YouTube battles and all this stuff that's going on. She's actually a self-proclaimed media manipulation expert. And she actually honed in on Mister Metokur because of his latest video where he discussed the Madden shooting, the guy who went to the Madden competition, lost, and then shot up the place like an idiot. And Metokur really ripped into this dude, as he should have. But within that video, he also exposed how Laura Loomer was trying to find any kind of information she could to try to be the first to name the suspect after the shooting, and he exposed how easy it was just to feed her some bullshit information, and she took the bait and ran with it and got her to tweet out that the shooting suspect was actually Paul Danino. And I don't know if you know who Paul Danino is, but that's the famous streamer that's known as Ice Poseidon. So he actually got this reporter to report that Ice Poseidon was the one that did the shooting when he was nowhere even near that entire event, and it's just ridiculous to think that that's actually what happened. But that particular incident is what sparked the interest and the attention of this Joan Donovan lady, who immediately hopped on Twitter, started talking about who Mister Metokur was. She started talking about how Mister Metokur was this devious individual, and that he was doing some term that she's trying to coin herself. What was it? Source hacking is what she came up with, talking about how people manipulate the media through source hacking, pretending to be a source and all that. No, he wasn't trying to manipulate anybody other than a news reporter that was irresponsibly reporting bogus claims that she didn't even take the time to fact check on, which is a huge problem in our media. But because of that, she rants and raves on Twitter about Mister Metokur. Now, the interesting thing about this lady is that she does have ties to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. I mean, she's in pretty deep with all this stuff because this is her job, studying, modern social media, and she's calling herself a media manipulation expert. Obviously, she's no expert, but she does have ties to these platforms and could have easily contacted somebody at YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook to have his accounts removed. Now, Zidane, who is actually the co-host of the Kill Stream and then runs the Kill Stream post show, he did a little digging in on her the other night and really clued us into a lot more information on this particular woman.
All right, this mystery is getting solved little by little.
It was Jabba the Donovan.
There you go. This account's tweets are now protected. So she is the media manipulation research lead at Data and Society. Prior to this, she was a postdoctoral fellow at the UCLA Institute for Society and Genetics, where she researches networked social movements, communication infrastructures, surveillance technologies, and white nationalists' interpretations of genetic ancestry tests.
It says a researcher for Data Society and expert on white supremacist messaging.
What?
I swear to God, let me get you.
Yeah, I'm looking at her page. It's right here.
It's some forum.
No, I'm on her website. She writes it right here.
Joan also enjoys movies, books, comics about hackers and telephones.
They're not sending their best.
And her cats. Contributes labor to these groups. The Undercommons, UCLA students and community organizers who open access to university resources and research materials for those who face institutional barriers. Interoccupy, an organization founded in 2011 that builds infrastructure and hosts conference calls for multiple social movements. And the Debt Collective, socio-technical platform for debtors unions. The fuck does that even mean?
Yeah.
Recounts the Occupy movement. After #keyword, the virtual organization of networked social movements. Hybrid forms of social organization that rely on platforms of the internet to connect multiple individuals and groups to address a social justice issue. Because of the centrality of the internet and mobile communications structure, NSMs, I mapped the communication infrastructure of the Occupy movement from July 2011 to June 2013, blah, blah, blah. The Ferguson Effect, Public Sociology and the Making of an American Statistic, currently under review. Analyze how activists and journalists inspired by street protests in Ferguson turned to the web and shareable spreadsheets to monitor deaths in custody. These organizations found that between 990 and 1,356 were killed by police during 2015. Here we go. From one drop to 1%, the impact of DNA ancestry tests on the worldview of white supremacists. Advances in population genetics and the direct-to-consumer marketing of DNA ancestry tests are challenging how groups fashion and maintain their identities. Most commonly, researchers focus on how Native Americans and African Americans' identities are co-constructed through these new scientific narratives of history and human evolution. Until now, few have looked at how white people use these tests to generate a sense of belonging to a group. As well, no one has taken on this controversial question: how do white supremacists understand and mobilize around this new genetic science? Pirates, Fraudsters, and Freaks, A History of Hacking the Social. We are conducting an archival history of social engineering, a commonly used technique by hackers to gain trust and information. Beginning with the invention of the telephone, we look at the ways phone freaks have manipulated the social technical infrastructure of telecom systems to route around operators and gain free access to costly telephone services. As we move into the internet age, we analyze landmark cases of hacking to illustrate how lapses in security in the social world contribute to the overall effectiveness of a hack. Source hacking. That's what she called it. She called it source hacking. I think she means source hacking as in trying to play a narrative. Like, what Jim did is he retweeted and commented on somebody asking about the shooting and put a story on it. So maybe she means that, but I wouldn't consider that hacking at all. Here we go. Which data and science researcher? All right. Storyful's internal investigation into the disinformation operation identified conversation across TRS 504 forums, Discord, Gab, and 4chan, alluding to Jerb spreading false background information on suspected shooter Nicholas Cruz. The tactic, which data and society researcher Joan Donovan refers to as source hacking, involved a number of white nationalists posting fake comments to the shooter's Instagram page. This led journalists to reach out to the Instagram users purporting to be Cruz's friends, who directed them to call Jerb. No, it's just making jokes. Legit, if you make a joke and you try to be funny.
MAGA white nationalists.
Yeah. If you make
racist.
Yeah, if you make a joke and if you do something like that, oh no, it's disinformation, guys. Oh boy. It's not true. Oh no. There you go. That's what it is. She's literally mad about that. Like, how could you do this? How could you make a joke? I mean, it's not like a journalist could actually do their job, right? And actually go for the information and make sure it's real and not fucking, oh, some dude on Twitter said this has got to be real. Yeah, let's run with it. Great job, guys. Fucking 10 out of 10.
You're assigning incompetence to what's probably malice. Obviously, there's an agenda being pushed and you can see it everywhere. And she's just pushing the same shit.
It's probably, yeah, they literally don't understand trolling, exactly. It's probably a little bit of both. I think most journalists are fucking morons anyway.
Mundane Matt, the Furry Community, Kraut and T, or this Joan Donovan woman. So those are the 4 main suspects for who most people think could be behind Mr. Metokur being deplatformed off the internet. That's what I got to say on it. I'd love to know what y'all think. Wow. All right. We got a special update here. I just want to say thanks to Keemstar. Metokur's YouTube channel has been reinstated. Last night on the kill stream, Keem promised to hit up his YouTube contacts and inform them of this ridiculous deplatforming of Mr. Metokur. And you know what? Keem delivered. Hey, this is Drummer828. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really helps the video survive on YouTube. Also, subscribe to keep up with the channel. And turn on the notification bell to instantly find out about new videos. I make music, motovlogs, comedy, live streams, and anything else I feel like doing.
I should have started off with this Ninja. I have to do this. I put this in the tags already. Ninja... I'm just going to glance over this. So everybody's like, you're leaving out this. Yes. Hashtag fuck gravity, right? Hashtag fuck gravity. Hey, you know what, drummer? Fucking call in. I will fuck you up, you pussy. Fuck you up. I'm going to embarrass you ever living shit of you. You know, you've been replying my 6 months. You couldn't take one dressing down. You couldn't fucking take one dressing down. Call in and make your case against Anna. I'll listen. Let's see, or you're going to be a fucking pussy. Because here's the thing. You have one fucking option right now. Call in. I embarrass and humiliate you. Hands up. No lowering the volume. No anything like this. One more, or you get blocked from this fucking site for life. Here's your choice. Jump into waiting to call. Let's do it now.
And of course, Tommy C, the egomaniac that he is. Now, before I go, I want to take a minute to welcome the new subscribers to the channel. And last but definitely not least, I'd like to give a special shout out to the YouTuber Reemsy, who supports this channel every month through Patreon. Thank you, Reemsy. It really means a lot, man.